January 1st, 2025. I just arrived at my home spot and it is extremely windy. What I'm gonna try today is use a speedboard with a 4.0 and see if it's sailable in these conditions. The bad thing about my home spot is at this wind direction. The waves are so gnarly, it's difficult to sail. But I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna bring the camera, I'm gonna take you along. Welcome back to the YouTube channel of the Windsurf Coach. We used to have really nice and clean waves at my home spot, but since they installed the sheet pile wall, the waves are extremely messy. So these are the perfect conditions to test the new speedboard that I bought off internet, 250 euros on marketplace. Messy waves, wind up to 40 knots in the gusts, and I'm using a 4.0 wave sail as I'm not that heavy. Otherwise I would just be blown away by the wind. And me being not that heavy is also the reason why I wanted to try a speedboard in winds like this. Normally when I use a slalom board, when it's this windy, the wind will just pick me up and throw me in the air for a few meters before I can continue. And when the next gust hits, it's just like I hit the repeat button and it happens all over again. Up till now I'm still pretty much in control. The only downside this board has is that's pretty slim. That means if you put a foot wrong you will hit the water. And also if you lose wind, it is a sinker board. It has so little volume you will just sink. Oh, there's one other thing that comes to mind. You have to keep the nose above the water. If you don't, ha, that face, priceless. But besides these minor details, I'm pretty happy with the setup. It's pretty difficult to go fast, especially when you go upwind, as you just keep hitting the waves. There's no way to go around it. Only on a downwind reach you can sail in between the waves if you are lucky, and then you can go pretty fast, so that feels right. But the main thing for me is that in 40 plus knots I can just sail comfortably and fully in control. Since it's my first time since 35 years that I've been on a board this narrow, the jibes don't go that well. It's just a little sensitive. Combine that with choppy conditions, it doesn't feel like I want to go full commitment over the chop into the jibe at 40 kilometers an hour or more, so I think I will save that for a later date when it's more smooth. For now I will just stick to those chicken jibes. I'm just having a blast and I really like being out in these conditions. There is a little flat spot that I have in my home spot. The wind is a little less, so unfortunately not that strong, and the wind direction isn't great. It's completely square, but when the wind direction is perfect you have a little speed spot of around 100 meters to go as fast as you dare. Time to catch my breath. It's pretty tiring on a new board in conditions like these. Going upwind in the choppy conditions is a challenge, but it's still fully under control, and that's a very big plus. The board doesn't have this much volume, so it's more or less a sinker board. That's okay as long as you keep your nose above the water and your sail powered up. Normally I would go out on a waveboard and a small sail just for fun in these conditions, but now I have an alternative. This board is 49 centimeters wide and I used it in combination with a 27 centimeters fin, and that worked perfectly for me with the 4.0. So to wrap it up, does a Speedboard work in these conditions? Yes, it does. Is it perfect? No, it isn't. It has a few downsides, but I will use this board more often in conditions like these. What a way is this to start the year 2025. On the first day of the year it was really insane windy. The wind was gusting up to 40-45 knots and I was using a 49 centimeter wide Speedboard just to be able to keep the board down. I used my 4.0 wave sail just to be able to control it. It was insane, but it was really nice to do, and I think I'm gonna do it more often. Just use a very narrow Speedboard when it's so windy. So yes, a narrow Speedboard is easier to control in these gnarly conditions. On a slalom board I would be flying all over the place and I wouldn't be able to control it. The only thing is you need to jibe this thing and it has almost no volume. So once you put it on this rail and you lose speed, you will just sink the thing. So that's a bit of a problem I need to fix. I need to work on. I need to find out the best way to jibe this thing in these choppy conditions. If that works, it will be perfect. I really hope you liked this first day of the year session. If you did, of course, please leave a like and I will see you on the water.